Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chat. I am Chloe, and this is Will.
Hello.
Hello. We have Captain Rex and Will Clone Trooper behind us. Captain Rex has joined our windowsill background.
Yep.
So today we have lots of different things to go through. We've had lots of new things come through this week. So we've got some new figures. We've got the Acolyte trailer to break down. It's finally here. And then we've got Bad Batch episode 8
Yep.
to break down. So yeah,
You've got quite
a lot to
bit.
cover.
Quite a bit.
Yes. So we've got some pictures to show you guys for you watching on YouTube. So yeah. You okay?
Yep. Should we say personal news? So it's nothing major, but for next week's episode, we're gonna have some. I don't know if we're gonna have photos, but we can talk about it. We are going to the National Sci-Fi Film Museum.
We are.
On the weekend.
Yeah. We don't know if we're going to be allowed to take photos, though.
Yes, I believe I've seen some people take some photos, but I think there is little areas that you're not allowed to take photos.
Yeah.
And I think the Star Wars bit is in one of those things, but I believe there's stuff like one of Darth Vader's helmets used in one of the films is there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we will let you know all the Star Wars stuff that we see, and it'll be, if we can get any photos, we will, and we'll put them on here for you.
Yeah. Hopefully we can.
Yes. That'll be something.
Because that'll be cool. But yeah, obviously it's not always the case that you're allowed to take photos in these like museum exhibitions.
Yeah, and I can totally understand why, because if there was photos online of every little thing in an exhibition, why would you want to go and see it? Because you know what's there, so
yeah.
But I'm looking forward to that. That'll be quite fun, so hopefully we can have some photos to show you next week.
Yeah, if not, we'll talk about it and everything we saw.
Yeah, we will make a note.
Yes. Anyway, let's get into the news. So
we have helmet news, but it's not my helmet news.
No. So we have the Black Series Moff Gideon electronic helmet. So for you guys that are into Mando, in Mando season 3, we see Moff Gideon get his like Mandalorian Imperial armor. So now we have his helmet being released. Yeah. I think it looks quite cool. It's not one that I would buy just because I'm not a big fan of Moff Gideon. But I think it's cool. It's got the light inside the visor, which I think this may lead on to like a commando helmet or something.
You know what? I was literally just thinking when you mentioned the light inside the visor.
I think that would be very cool because obviously we've got like the other clones. Why not make a commando?
Yeah, I mean,
what if we get Scorch from Bad Batch? Maybe.
I don't know if I'd want a Scorch one because Scorch, I think his armor is quite cool with the sort of white and the greys, but I think his helmet is kind of plain. It's I would rather if they were going to do a helmet from a
Republic Commando,
just a commando in
just
general.
A normal one.
Could have a Gregor. With all the like battle lines on it.
Oh, that's true.
That would be a cool one.
We got Rex. What if we get Gregor? It leads on to other things. What if we get Wolf, Hauser, Cody?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
still boggles my mind how they haven't made Cody. But anyway.
Yeah, commandos that I would say, if they were going to do a commando helmet because of the visor.
Yeah.
Gregor or Boss, I think, with the orange stripe because he is the leader of the Republic Commandos. Or even Rev with like the red handprint on it.
Sev, yeah.
Sev, sorry, yeah.
It looks like he got blood on his helmet.
That would be quite cool. Or just a reg, but that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got the Moff Gideon one, which I think it looks quite cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it does look a bit plasticky.
I think it's one that like Moff Gideon fans will definitely like, and I think he's probably going to be signing a lot of these. Giancarlo, is that his name? I think it's quite cool to have one of the helmets with like the little horns on top as well, because I mean, we said this when the episode came out. It's very like the Maul DeLoreans in the Siege of Mandalore. So who knows? Maybe eventually we'll get one of those helmets. But yeah, I think this one is quite cool, but not one that I would buy.
Yep. But no, cool, interesting helmet news.
We have some more figures.
Now, we did mention 2 last week in the Stormtrooper and Vader.
We did.
So and I was like, why are they doing New Hope? But they seem to have been re-released in line by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Because they've got 2 more coming out from New Hope that they have announced.
Yep. So obviously last week we told you about the Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper. So now we've got R2-D2 from A New Hope. Again, it's really cool, but probably not something that I would buy, only because I already have a couple R2-D2s in my collection. But yeah, very cool. If you haven't got an R2-D2, then why not get this one? And then we've got Princess Leia Organa, which is Leia with a like cinnamon bun hairdo and her white dress with the hood from episode 4. Very iconic look for Leia.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've given her like 2 blasters though, because you could have given her like I'll tell you what you could do actually.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted Leia when she's on Tantive 4 when she gets captured and gets stunned, you could give her the like little blaster. Or if you want her on the Death Star escaping, you could use the normal blaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Because doesn't she pick up like is it a Stormtrooper blaster?
On the Death Star,
yeah, she shoots the like garbage chute thing.
Yes.
She's like, into the garbage chute, fly boy.
Because there is also a very unflattering image of Carrie Fisher using the blaster, but it's like one of those photos that's taken, or like stills that is taken when she's like
wrong time. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yes, so that is quite a famous one with her in the blaster. But I mean, again,
yeah, it's cool.
Interesting that they're going for the New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, so you're probably going to get a Han Solo, a Ben,
probably
maybe a Luke,
Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And then you can have her going, somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way.
Yeah. Again,
very cool. Again, not one I would buy, but I know lots of people love Leia, so I think that'd be cool.
So moving on, this one you wanted to mention.
So this figure I think is new, but it's Walmart exclusive. This is Mandalorian Night Owl. I was going to say she looks like Cosca Reeves, but I think she's part of that same group.
Yeah.
But this is basically the new Hasbro Black Series. So they're changing their packaging slightly. Now, I quite like this packaging. I think it's very reminiscent of like the older Black Series boxes with like the bits of red on. Because I've got like the Padme from episode 2 version of that. And I've seen like Darth Revan and there's various different ones. But yeah,
So they've gone for the sort of square box instead of the like angled one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, if people have the other boxes and then they're having this in their collection, because I know the boxes have like the like artwork on the side, very similar to the helmets.
Clearly see it like here as
well, whereas like if there's other figures with this like, because I know they all piece together like almost like a poster. But I think the only issue with this style box is it's not on the angle. So if they put it up against other boxes in that collection, then there's going to be some boxes that are straight, some boxes that are angled, which I think may annoy some people. But I do prefer the look of this box though.
Totally. No, I can see why, it does look, again, if you're not aware of the box, then you're probably not going to make too much notice of it. But this looks right.
Yeah, and we have windows back as well. because I know a lot of people are annoyed about not actually being able to see the figure until you
True.
unbox it, and when you do unbox it, it's like wrapped around with tissue paper, so you can't even see it until you like fully unwrap it. But yeah,
I know what you mean. It is nice to see the figure again.
very cool.
Yeah, so just quickly before we're moving on, an old friend is in the chat today. Hello, old friend. To those of you who are wondering, that is Rory. Rory has joined us today. Welcome, old friend.
Welcome.
Hope you're doing well.
You've joined in time for the news. So what have we got next? We've got the
Darth Maul.
I think this might be a new collection that they're doing in Star Wars Black Series. So this is a Holocom collection. So far they've only released this version of it. But it's Darth Maul from the Clone Wars, with his double blade lightsaber and his like robotic legs. But it's basically like a transparent blue figure that you can put on the little stand.
So, like that.
There you go. So it looks like almost like a bounty puck.
That's actually really no. I think that is meant to be the design of the base. It is meant to be like puck, bounty puck. I like the little Arabesh.
Yeah.
Like in front of it. So
Definitely.
if they made this like a collection, you really could sort of show off the like figure.
Character. Yeah. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah.
Again, probably not one that I would buy, but I know so many people love Darth Maul.
True.
I love Darth Maul as well, but
I do like as well that they have actually gone on to detail in the lightsaber, so you can clearly see that it is two different hilts.
Mm.
You know, so it is exactly like the Clone Wars when he has like two of them, sort of two different
pieced
ones
together.
put together. So yeah, that's quite cool.
Very cool.
We also then go on to we will talk about these figures, these characters in like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So they have announced that they are doing vintage collection of the Acolyte figures.
Yep.
I think there was only 2 that was announced so far.
There's only 2 that have been released. But then there's a few Black Series ones which we will go on to in a bit.
So this is the one of May.
So she's the one with like the purple cloak in the trailer. Very cool.
Yep.
Cool little figure.
I mean, not gonna lie, I think the figure looks a little bit different face-wise to actual May from the series, but you know, you can't be accurate 100%.
Yeah. I mean, she does have a little face mask, so
yeah,
I guess that'll make her look a bit better.
And Jedi Master Soul as well. Again, it says here like digitally rendered images, final image, you know, so they might change it up a bit.
May vary,
But you know, it is cool that they've already started doing figures and stuff like that. And, you know,
it's just crazy because we had the Acolyte trailer and then all these figures from the Acolyte announced, and I'm like, we've only just had the trailer. Like, who is this person?
Yes, I can't remember the name of this Jedi. I do have her.
She's Jedi Master. I know that. I can't remember her name
and
either.
She's played by the woman who played Trinity in The Matrix. I can't remember her name. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. But very cool.
But yeah, this was a Black Series figure, by the way.
Yes. So we're moving on to the Black Series figures now.
So there's that one.
Then we have May again.
Looks a little bit better in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the Black Series really works for. Should we say
figures?
The figure. Oh, figure already. Like
the
face on this really does look like the character. Like they've done a good job on this one.
Yep.
We have the
Jedi Padawan
that we see in the trailer.
Yeah. I think this character has like really strange looking eyeshadow.
Yes. Now
like going up
a lot of people have said they reckon this is like a new species that was introduced into the High Republic, like literature and comics and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Yes. So we have a new Hot Toys figure. So this.
What? Not another one?
I know. I mean, you know more about this figure than me because
Okay.
I've never played the Battlefront 1 game.
I think
Is
this
it
is
from
Battlefront.
Battlefront
No, I
1?
think it's Battlefront 2.
Is it Battlefront 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because Battlefront 2 you had the more customization on the
Oh,
characters. So
okay.
basically, Battlefront 2, they on all the different skins that you could buy for the clones, there was one that they introduced called Umbara Operative for the ARC Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit weird because it's like you don't see it in the Umbara episode in in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, which I think is strange.
But they decided to make this Umbara ARC Trooper. Was a playable skin. I definitely know that they've made a Funko of it because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And then they made a hot toy of it now. And if you like something a bit different as a clone, or you know that was one of your favorite skins, why not get the hot toy? You know.
I think he does look very cool. He does have a lot of accessories. I think you can change his pauldron, and you can change his helmet as well.
So you can sort of change him from like phase 1 to phase 2, really.
Yeah. And you can change the color of his like visor as well. So he's got
this
like Cody style visor, and then there's one which is it's like the one that Rex uses in in the Bad Batch, like the almost like binocular looking ones.
Yeah, the
but they're black. Those ones.
Yeah, I think we
got a picture.
Here of all the
yeah, there you go. So it's the one on the end there.
So yeah, if you look at this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So the helmets, phase 1, phase 1.5.
Ah, there you go.
And phase 2, like Captain, like Cody, Vaughn, Fox.
Yeah. And you can have the rangefinder on or the rangefinder off.
Yeah, you got the little visor that you were saying.
Yeah.
You can change the
blasters
end of the rifle, the backpack, got the stand.
And he comes with lots of different hands as well.
Yeah. But like I said, you can, it's for a figure, again, I like the hot toys. This one probably not going to get. But
just because of the price point.
Yeah, but I do really like the fact that this one is very customized. You can change a lot of things on it. So
very cool.
Yeah, I believe that is all the figures. Yes. So going on to the first part of today's episode, we won't talk overly a lot about this one, but we will sort of mention a few things. We've got the Acolyte trailer.
Yep.
There was a lot of hype. They brought out this poster for it. I do like this poster, to be honest. Yep. I know a lot of people as well like this poster because, again, visually, it's really good. Like, it's just, it's quite simple. It's a lightsaber with, like, basically what's meant to be like blood sort of shooting out the end of it to be like almost like a red lightsaber, but it's a Jedi lightsaber that it's coming from. Yeah, Jedi Hill. So that is quite visually interesting. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think this is a great poster, and I love the like quote on it: "In an age of light and darkness rises." It's like, Sith aren't even heard of. I mean, I guess they're probably heard of, but like
they're not around. They're supposedly
like this is where the Jedi are like at their peak, and then this darkness comes into the story.
Yeah, and I think it's quite interesting because it's like, so a little bit of brief for those of you who don't know what the High Republic is. So there's different eras within the Star Wars sort of timeline. So if we work backwards, so we've got the sequels, which is the New Republic era. Before the New Republic, we had the Empire.
Yeah.
So the Galactic Empire era.
With the rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had the Republic and the Clone Wars. The prequel era and the Clone Wars. So that was like the Galactic Republic. And then we had what this is, the High Republic era. So this is set,
like 100 years before.
yes, the series itself is set 100 years, I believe, before Phantom Menace. But the High Republic was from like 500, I believe, to 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So, you know, in this time as well, you got to remember the galaxy's at peace. There's no war. There's no Sith. You know, peace is reigning throughout the galaxy, and the High Republic, or you know, the Republic is starting to expand into the Outer Rim, and you know, the sort of chart more space, shall we say? So yeah,
very cool.
Very cool. And then obviously as well, by the way, before you had the High Republic, you then had the Old Republic, which was, you know, so they are different timelines. So don't expect to be seeing a Revan in this unless it's like some sort of vision or something, you know. You're not going to see Old Republic in this, or you're not going to see. But
you're not going to see anyone from the prequel movies.
Well,
or anything.
I was just about to say we might.
Because the only ones that live long.
We do know that there are characters in terms of age that will be around in this era. Doesn't mean they're going to show up in the show, Acolyte, but you've got Yoda's going to be around. He's a Jedi Master at this point. So I'm not
because we know at the time of his death, he was like 900 years old. So,
and the Phantom Menace is what, like, you know, 20, 30 years or something before A New Hope or something. So, you know, it's, you know, so he's still, but, so he's not he's not the Grand Master, but he is a Jedi Master at the time of this. So he's around. Now, really interesting one. Now, again, spoilers if you haven't seen the trailer. Go watch it now. One, shoot. There's a bit where there's a group of Jedi.
There is.
And there is one that looks very similar to Plo Koon. Saying it could be same species, but I did see a video when someone said Plo Koon, their age that they live to, I believe, is like 350, something like that. So Plo Koon very easily could be a Jedi in this, you know.
Could.
So that might be interesting to see. And then there was Maz Kanata. She's, you know, as old as Yoda, basically. She could be in this. And then obviously there was two other Jedi on the council. The sort of Kaminoan looking guy, and the sort of guy with the beard, like the white, weird looking. I can't remember their name. If you do know them, let me know.
Okay.
But yeah, so we could see them. I don't think they will. I think we might get a cameo from Yoda, just because it's like, even though this show heavily relies on being separate from like anything that's come before it, I think they might be like, here's a character that you do know. He is around. You know, so.
Could even see Yaddle as well.
Yaddle's around as well. So
there you go.
And then, yes, this was the poster that they released after they dropped the trailer.
So this is May, isn't it? I think. Is it May?
Yes.
Yeah.
May the
because she has like the purple cloak on.
Yeah.
But you can only see the back of her.
Yes, and we learned in the trailer. Well, we've learned as well from sources. May is a former Jedi, so she's formerly Soul's a Padawan. But then, you know, something has clearly changed, and she's no longer part with the Jedi. So, yes. So we have pictures of all the main characters that we see in the trailer. So we'll go through those. So this is Jedi Master Soul. Now, a lot of people have said that this scene at the start,
Yeah.
where he's talking to the younglings about shut your eyes, what do you see?
Yeah.
Life, balance, is like a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid that says
I see fire.
yeah is
Could be May.
May. Now, I sort of agree with that a bit,
Yeah.
because if you look at what he's wearing here, he is in full High Republic era attire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the white and the sort of gold and cream, which is very reminiscent. Well, is the sort of attire worn by the High Republic Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you see the prequels, they were very like brown and cream.
Yeah, yeah.
High Republics are very sort of white and gold and have patterns on them.
Light colours.
So I think this is a throwback, flashback, because we do see later in the trailer he is in like a brown cloak and a creamy sort of, So I think he's going to be like the main character
in the show, yeah.
in this. I thought he was great in the Squid Games, and I got to see him at Celebration as well on the main stage. He did seem very pleased to be there. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I think he will be the main character in this. Now, this is interesting. So this is Jedi Master. Hang on, Venextra Roll. Now, I personally haven't read any of the High Republic stuff, but I do know that she is, shall we say, a well-known character from the High Republic books. So this is a character that is sort of reoccurring. So if you do know the literature, then she is from that. Yep. I will just quickly show you, because I had this picture saved. So this is her changing in the High Republics. Okay. In the like different books. So this is like sort of concept art as well as what she, would look like. Yep. This is her in like the first one, second one, sort of third, and then this is her as an older version of herself.
I wonder why she hasn't got any hair.
Might be a choice.
But also, I was going to say, she looks like the same species as Bar Sophie and...
Yes, I believe...
Luminara.
She is. I can't remember what the species is called.
Because she has like those little like diamond square looking markings on her head.
Yeah, I think she is green. The same...
Yeah.
Same, should we say...
Species, yeah.
But yeah, I think she's going to play, again, more of a background character, Yeah. Like I was saying about possibly a Yoda cameo, she's going to be like sort of someone that people who know the High Republic, they know her character. Yeah. It's like, she's there. Yeah. Obviously, we have May, formerly Soul's Padawan, who's now doing her own thing, as an assassin. And we see her, causing trouble in the trailer.
Yep. She has these sort of little
daggers.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean, I like the sort of fighting style that they're showing so far in the trailer.
Yep.
It's not like the Duel of the Fates where it's like heavy lightsaber. It's showing how the Jedi would react to this in such of like, defensing moves, pushing away, not using offense as a weapon. So quite cool. So there's May. Also, in case you didn't know, this was the girl who played Rue in the first Hunger Games. She's come very far from playing Little Rue. She is now an assassin.
In Star Wars.
Yes. We have a Wookiee Jedi.
Yay!
This is Master Jedi Master Cal Neka. He is a Wookiee. We do.
I believe he's from the books as well, isn't he?
I think we did see a review, like a breakdown, and I think the guy said he hopes he's this
That it's
person.
a different, yeah.
So it could be the same one in the books. Apparently, he prefers the solitude life. So I think this might be sort of a character that's like with the Order, but he's like not on Coruscant with the Jedi Temple. Maybe he's living in one of the other Jedi places. I mean, I'm personally like looking forward to seeing a Jedi Wookiee.
Yeah.
I know we've had Gunji, and everyone loved Gunji.
I know, I love Gunji.
But,
I don't want this to take away like the Wookiee being a Jedi
Yeah,
aspect from Gunji. However, it's a different era, and I think
Complete-
he does it cool.
Yeah,
He
he's got like his little
little
hair
hairdo.
done, little cool little style.
Yeah.
Um,
And we love the Wookiees.
yeah, and I know he's not going to have the same as Gunji, but I'm kind of curious to see what his lightsaber's like.
Yeah.
Because Gunji's was really cool with like the
bits of wood.
The wood from Kishi. It's like, is he gonna do the same, or is he gonna be High Republic, very gold and chrome, and you know?
Who knows?
So this is Jedi Knight Yord. Now, from what we know, he's a Jedi who goes by the book. So I'm trying to compare him to someone. So think of the prequels. Probably go by someone like, I don't know, someone like maybe like Luminara, or Ki-Adi-Mundi, someone who's like, oh, the Jedi Order is this, we do this. Like, apparently he's a very like devout, strict like Jedi, which would be quite interesting to see, like a Jedi so sort of, so we say, straight down the line in terms of what they believe and do. And he also mentions as well in the trailer, someone's killing Jedi. Now, you know, at this time of the Republic, it's probably quite a scary thing for a Jedi, because it's like, you know, there's no one killing, there's no Sith. No. Why are Jedi being killed? So, yeah, that'd be quite interesting to see. So this was Jedi Master in Dara. Going to get confusing with all these names. So yes, this is the woman who plays Trinity in the Matrix. We see her fighting May quite a bit. But again, like I said, we see her sort of just backing off, defensive moves only, not really attacking.
No.
But then when you do see the sort of headline bit for the Acolyte on Disney Plus, it is like her with like a green lightsaber, and I think she's in like the same stance as like Kenobi. So interesting. So yes, this is Jedi Padawan Jeki. This is Jedi Master Soul's new Padawan. So May was his like first, and then she didn't make it through the Order or left, or got, you know, cut. And this is his new one. This was the woman who played X-23 in Logan. And was in his Dark Materials recently. I can't remember her name, but I remember her from that. But yeah, like another Jedi that we're probably going to get quite a lot of material for. This is Kamir. He's a smuggler. I think this is like the only shot that we sort of get of him in the trailer anyway, where he's like looking out of the door. So we don't know too much about this guy. Yeah, it's about it for Kamir. So this is Mother
Anisea.
Anisea, yes, that was pronounced beautiful.
Anisea.
Elise, I like that.
Yeah.
So we don't really know too much about her, but she is like a cult.
Yeah, I think she's kind of like the witches.
Yeah, it's like a cult following, and there's a group in the High Republic that's very much like, the Jedi shouldn't have use the Force and stuff like that, and they're very culty, and you can clearly see in this picture that she is very.
She's like a leader.
Yeah, and they're all like following her.
Yeah.
So we only got like 2 images to show you from the trailer that I could find, because we got a lot of pictures. So
yeah.
Now we see a lightsaber like towards the end of the trailer, a red lightsaber, slashing through the trees, and then gets caught in his hand. Now that is a red lightsaber. It's not an orange lightsaber, so it's not like a dark Jedi.
No, it is a Sith.
It is a red lightsaber. So this is a dark side user now. So
I've seen a lot of speculation. What if this is like Darth Plagueis or someone tied to Darth Plagueis?
I do get that, but from what I'm going to say, in my opinion,
I think it is.
That's a human hat.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is Plagueis.
No.
I know that obviously Plagueis and Palpatine.
I mean, it could be someone working with Plagueis, possibly.
Maybe this was Plagueis' master.
Maybe. Because we're talking like a long time before any of the prequels as well. So.
I mean, I don't know how long how long sort of Plagueis lived. Yeah. But I would imagine he might be around, and maybe they will hint at it. So again, this might be his master. It could be May.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, I think it might be May, in my opinion, with this one. I'm not saying that she's exactly going to be the big bad of the series. I don't think she's going to do that. But I think she might get a lightsaber at some point. And this could be it. And then we see quite a good shot of like all the little group of Jedi with all the different coloured lightsabers. There's yellow, green, blue. And then they all sort of get swept back by a really powerful sort of push. And this is a push that pushes like what 6 to 8 Jedi. So powerful. And then we get to see Master Soul using the like Jedi mind trick to tell him information. And we do actually see in the clip after this that the guy's face like immediately just relaxes. So he's clearly going to find out what's going on. But then that was really about it for Acolyte. I know we didn't really go too much into detail, but
I mean, it was a very quick trailer.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters. There's lots of what ifs. There's planet that looks like Acto. They could be going to. There's other characters, species that we haven't seen before. I think it's going to be an interesting one. So now going on to the Bad Batch,
episode 8.
Yes. Would you like to start us off with this one? What did you think?
Okay. I'm going to say it's not my favourite out of this particular series.
Same.
I'm not going to lie, kind of spoiler, but the ending with Fennec Shand, I don't like her anymore. I think she was a bit of a scammer in this episode, not gonna lie. And I love Hunter and I love Wrecker, and I think she just scammed them a lot in this episode. But anyway, so I mean, we start off with the Maul on Pabu. Then Omega sat there like on the step, and then she's holding like the the comm link thing, and Crosshair sort of comes up to her and he's like, just holding that won't make Echo call you. I can't remember the exact quote he said,
something like that.
but basically she's holding out hope that like she can help Echo on his journey because
And Rex.
yeah, Echo and Rex, because she feels bad that, you know, the Empire got sent out because Omega was there, and you know, in that instance, majority of their team got wiped out. Basically, you know, we lost Samsung, we lost
Greer,
yeah, Fireball, and then like a bunch of other clones that we didn't know the names of.
We're walking away clones.
And now it's just like, is it just Echo, Rex, and Hauser now? Like,
well, the one thing that does
Gregor?
give me hope is Crosshair does say, now I know this sounds bad, lost most of his squad.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean all. Now I'm hoping other besides Gregor and Hauser, there is other ones around that I hope that we get to see more. We get to see more clones, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, I liked the look of the other clones, but we didn't even get names for them, so you know, I guess we couldn't get too attached without a name.
True.
It's like one of those things, like if you get a pet and you call it something, then you get attached to it. I quite liked the 212 looking guy. I made a funny TikTok with that one. If you want to check out our TikTok, we've got a funny one with him. But yeah, anyway, so the next sort of bit in the episode, so they get a what's it called, like a holo message from Fee. So if you guys don't remember Fee, she's the lady that kind of fell in love with Tech in the last season
and introduced them to Pabu.
Yeah, she like brought them to Pabu, which is like
a pirate.
Yeah, but she's a good pirate. She's not scammer like Hondo and all of that. I don't like Hondo, not gonna lie. But yeah, and then obviously Crosshair, because he's been away from the gang for so long, he's there like, who is this? And then Omega goes, I can't remember what she says now. She calls her something.
Yeah,
but it's how like, Fee introduced herself.
Who's this? And she's like, she's a collector of treasure or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Something like that. And then he's like, you are? And then she's like, she's a pirate. But she wanted to make her sound like more special than what she was, because, you know, she is good and she has helped the Bad Batch out. Yeah. So anyway, they get a holo message from her, and she's saying she's heard around town the bounty hunters have been receiving a bounty, basically hunting out people that can hold like M count. Is that what it was?
Yep.
So then Omega comes up with the idea. She's like, oh, how about we get in contact with Fennec Shand? So this is Fennec Shand on the screen, guys, if you don't remember her. She is the bounty hunter that came up in The Mandalorian, and now she's in Book of Boba Fett with Boba. But yeah, she's in the Bad Batch, and if you guys don't remember, I think it was season 1, Nala Se sent Fennec out to save Omega.
Well, to get her away from like the Empire, basically.
Yeah, because the Empire, well, it was the Prime Minister Lama Su who sent out Cad Bane to try and get Omega, and then she was sent out to try and stop that from happening, just to keep Omega safe. But yeah, so Omega comes up with that idea. She goes, oh, how about we ask Fennec, because she was actually a nicer bounty hunter than, you know, all these other ones we've come across. And Hunter doesn't think it's a particularly good idea, but he's like, you know what, we need this information. So he goes, Omega, you stay here with Crosshair, and me and Rekka are going to go and find out this information for you. So they go to this like bar.
Oh, I will say as well before that though,
Oh yeah.
there is a little quote or a little line where Hunter notices Crosshair's hand
Oh
and
yeah.
shaking, and then he says
That was
to
it.
Omega, keep an eye on him,
Yeah.
get him to get his hand, get AZ to like look at his hand.
Yeah.
Like he needs his hand looked at.
Yeah.
Like,
get it checked out. Check that he's all right.
because Hunter really like picked up on it, you know, just like he could see that his like hand was shaking.
Yeah. And it's causing Crosshair this like anger because he wants to be fine, but then his hand keeps shaking and he's just like like it's frustrating for him, and Hunter's just like, look, you need to get it checked out. Check that he's okay. So anyway, he goes off to this like bar cantina thing where people hang out, and then Fennec Shan's there, and she's talking to what's the species? Is it Nemoria? Rhodian. That's the one.
He looks a bit like Greedo. I was like,
he
could that
did.
be Greedo? But I don't think it was.
No.
But it was this, you know, it was a Rhodian. It was the same species. So
Yeah.
It could have been.
Who knows? Yeah, because Greedo is a bounty hunter as well. So
Yep.
we don't know. But anyway, so this Rhodian is talking to Fennec, discussing some deal, and then Hunter sort of goes over, and then they have a bit of a debate, and he's like, I'm making a deal with her, and he's like, not anymore. And they sort of sit down, and then Fennec Shan kind of shoos the other guy away, and he's like, right, what do you know about the bounties coming through for people with like the M count?
And she says that she hasn't taken one herself,
but she's heard of them, and she's like, what's it to you? How do you know this information or whatever? And he's like, you know, I have my sources, but I'm just here to find out this information. And she's like, right, I don't know myself, but I can get the information, but I need your help with this mission. It's going to cost you for this information that I'm going to give you. So they're like, okay, fine. So they decide, you know, instead of paying her the credits that they don't have, they're going to help her on this mission, and they don't know what they're getting into. But then it sort of jumps back and forth to Omega on Pabu. So Omega does allow Crosshair to get his hand looked at by AZ.
Well, she more convinces him, you know, like she's like, look, let's all let AZ have a look at him.
Yeah. And Batcher's there as always. I love Batcher, and I love how he's always tied to Crosshair and Omega. He's like, he's my friends. It's just like a dog. They just follow you around all the time. So AZ's like scanning his hand, whatever, and it's still shaking. It's not getting any better. And he's like, I've exhausted all, you know, medical treatments. Perhaps it's not something physical. Perhaps it's like in your mind, basically. And then Crosshair gets really annoyed, and he's like, you think that this is like my brain thinking that my hand's shaking? Like, it's shaking. There's something wrong with it. And yeah, Omega sort of calms him down, and she's like, look, don't worry, you'll be fine. I
got an idea that, you know, will help.
Yeah, but
and he's like, I'm not gonna like this, am I? And she's like, no.
No. But AZ, he's said to him, like, look, if you don't know what experiments the Empire has done on you, then there's not much more I can do, because I don't know what has happened to you.
Yep.
You know, AZ, he's worked on countless clone troopers, but he doesn't know what they've been doing to Crosshair. So, you know, he's like an altered clone for him. So anyway, we get this other picture as well.
Yeah, this is when, because he storms off, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is a bit later on in the episode, but we get a outfit change for Omega, And I think this outfit's quite cute. She got like a little jacket on and a little necklace. And yeah, I thought this was a really cute picture. And again, Batcher's right there next to them.
Good old mate.
But yeah, you can. It's funny because the last 2 seasons, Omega and Hunter have been like this together, like a knot, you know. And then sort of her time away from Hunter, breaking out of Tantus with Crosshair, and you know, you can really tell she's trying to help him because everyone else is just like, you were with the Empire, we don't like you, sort of thing. Like, you know, you've seen the episode where he comes off the ship and then Hunter and Wrecker are just like, why are you here? And you can just see the anger in their faces, just like, we don't want to know you. Like, you didn't want to be with us. But Omega's the sort of person to give people more chances, and you know, she knows that he's a really good guy. Both of them together got off Tantus. You know, he helped her in no end. So she's willing to help him, like, as like, you know, giving the favor back, you know.
Again,
So,
I
yeah.
think it's also due to the fact that it's like, you know, she spent 5 months basically at a place where it was the only
She
person
was
that she
seeing him
really
every
knew
day.
was her and Crosshair. They got
Yeah.
out. They, you know, were able to escape the Empire and find the Bad Batch together. So it's brought those two closer because, you know, she was already close with
Yeah.
Hunter and Wrecker anyway, and Echo. You know, we've seen that. But it's nice to see that, you know, they have this very quite nice special bond.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, if everyone is like against him and she's just like, you don't deserve that. Like, she wants to be caring for him.
Yep.
And I think that's really sweet.
Yes.
And then we have this other thing. So this is her way of helping him. So she's learned from Gunji, from the last season.
When she helped Gunji and the Wookiees sort of defeat some Trandoshans.
Yeah. And obviously Gunji, he's a Jedi, so he knows all about meditation and.
But the Wookiees themselves are very connected to the forest and very spiritual.
Yeah.
So, you know, not even just being a Jedi, you know, they've learned it from them meditating together. But, you know, she's like, shut your eyes, breathe.
Yeah.
And he's like, you went to Kashyyyk, and she's like, yeah, you missed a lot.
Yeah, which is quite sad, really, because you're like, why Crosshair? You could have been with them this whole time. But you know, she's catching him up,
and yeah, I like this bit because at first he's just sort of sat there like watching, and he's not taking part.
No.
And then he's like, and then he like shuts his eyes, and then he starts like meditating and clearing his mind.
Yeah.
And this shot is very reminiscent of Luke in The Last Jedi, like sat looking over towards the sun out to sea, you know.
Very true.
So I like that little comparison.
Yep. Very true. I also love in this picture as well that Batcher has his eyes closed and he's sort of bowed, like,
I think he's asleep.
I'll join in as well.
I think he's having a little nap.
But yeah, I love this picture and I love this moment because it's like she's really helping Crosshair, and I think this will be good for Crosshair to just sort of relax because he's always uptight, you know, he's always annoyed about his hand, or you know, Hunter, you're not doing this right, or you know, there's certain things that he stresses a lot about, and I think this is good for him to kind of, you know, ground himself and be like relaxed.
Yeah.
So then we go back to Hunter and Wrecker's journey with Fennec Shand. So she takes him out on this boat. I
will say as well, this planet is something that we've not really seen in Star Wars.
No.
The air and everything is toxic.
Yeah.
You know, Fennec puts on a little like air mat, like, you know, respiratory mask sort of under her helmet.
Yeah.
Make sure that the clones put their helmets on because you can't breathe. It's like toxic. We get also quite a funny scene of a pit's crew like droid
Mhm.
sort of negotiating a prize for this like boat with Fennec,
Oh yeah.
which is quite cool.
Yep.
And a lot of people have compared this to like space Louisiana, like swamps and all that.
Yep. Definitely.
Which is quite funny, I thought, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I forgot about that. There's like a scene where they get off the ship and she's like, "Right, helmets on, boys. The air is toxic here," and they're just like, "Sorry, what? You didn't tell us this." So yeah, they're on the boat and they're looking at the water, and Wrecker's like, "What's in the water?" or something. I can't remember how they get talking
oh
about
yeah,
it.
because she's like, "Don't go in the water."
Yeah, and he's like, "What's in the water?" And she's like, "Let's just say I would not go in the water." And he's like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden Hunter starts sensing things. They get,
That's why he came along, because of his tracking ability
yep,
to track down this target.
yep. So they sort of stop. Then she asks them to get out and see what's there. So and he's like, "But you said you never get in the water." And she's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm not. You can get in the water." So Hunter and Wrecker get in the water, and then they see a bunch of, are they mines?
Yes.
So there's a lot of them, and straight away Hunter's like, "Right, we got to go back. We got to go around the other way." And she's like, "No, because this way will be better because we can sneak in." So the main objective is she wants to capture this like insect kind of creature. I can't remember his name.
Alive.
Yeah, she wants him alive, and apparently he's really hard to kill and hard to sneak up on. So she wants to do it a certain way. So she's like, "This is the only way. You're gonna need to deactivate all these mines." So they're like, "Okay, fine." So they get out there like blade, and then they start cutting the wires on these mines, just to deactivate them so that the boat can go over without.
Turn them off.
Yeah.
Oh, could I just mention as well quickly?
Yes.
So, a little nod, which I think I quite like this.
Mhm.
A little nod to the Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor games.
Mhm.
The target that they're after, Fennec says, has killed basically a few of the sort of top members of the Haxian Brood,
Ooh.
and that took a load of credits and then did a runner.
Mhm.
What I quite like is the Haxian Brood is the bounty hunter group that Cal Kestis comes across
Mhm.
in Fallen Order,
Yeah.
and you take out some of those like bounty hunter droids. But then in Jedi Survivor, they are still after you, and you take out like all of the bounty hunters that come after you,
Yep.
and that's where you get like a little extra cutscene with a certain bounty hunter. But it's just a cool little mention to the Jedi, Jedi Survivor Fallen Order game,
Yeah.
mentioning the Haxian Brood.
Yeah. I mean, obviously those games are canon, so
Yeah, definitely. And I just think it was a
it
nice little
brings
nod
it all
to it, because
together.
it's like,
Yeah.
they didn't need to mention that.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah. Very, very cool
Mhm.
how they've got that in there. Also, I'd like to mention the like filter on this is very much like kind of like Apocalypse Now, like a war kind of film
Very,
vibe.
very orangey, isn't it?
Yeah, very like older films.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought this was quite a cool picture. You can
And
see
also
him like,
the animation as well in this episode is
very
like,
good.
you can see how much it's come since when the Clone Wars sort of started in 2008. It's top notch.
It's so good. Like you can see each little scratch on Hunter's helmet here.
Yeah.
So then Hunter senses that there's some kind of animal. Fennec looks out of her like sniper rifle, and she can see them coming, and she's like, "Guys, you better hurry it up because I've got incoming. And it's basically a bunch of these like alligator type of creatures. I don't know the official name of them. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I
guys.
don't know if they but I don't know if they've actually got a name, what they were named, but it is literally crocodiles in Star Wars coming after you.
Just some big gators. So she's like trying to blast with fire them, and then we've gone a bit far. And then one of them kind of gets Hunter. And then Wrecker kind of jumps on it. He's trying to save his brother, like, no. There's a funny shot where he's like holding one above his head and he's just like throwing them about. Some of them sort of get on the boat and he's throwing them out.
And then you got like a bit where Hunter gets his like 2 blasters out.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, very much like Rex with his 2 hand blasters.
Yeah.
Very cool scenes, and very cool how Wrecker, like, you can see how strong Wrecker is, how he just like grabs these things and chucks them. He's not afraid, because I think there's a moment where they get back in the boat and then Wrecker sort of jumps off the boat on top of one of these things, and it's crazy. But I really like how Wrecker helped Hunter. That's his brother, isn't it? And it's like the leader of the gang, and he's like, what? He's got a gator on him. So yeah, really good work that they kind of get past those, and then they get to the actual place where this bounty guy is hiding, this like insect guy. So then Hunter goes up. He's like, right, Wrecker, you stay down here. So he goes up these stairs, like kind of like a ladder, and then
into like a hut, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so he's sort of looking around, and then all of a sudden this thing jumps on him, and he can Wrecker from down the bottom. He can see like stun blaster fire going off in the air, and he's like, oh no, like he must be in trouble. So Wrecker ends up going up there, and you can see how strong this insect guy is.
Because they have a bit of a tussle, don't they? And then
they do. So
he sends him flying.
Yeah, he sends Wrecker flying across the room, and obviously we know how strong Wrecker is, and it's crazy. But yeah, again, Wrecker helping Hunter. They work together as a team really well.
They are a good team.
And then there's basically like these sort of bars on the floor, and then he pushes a button, he goes through these bars. And then, we've got rid of it. Hold on one sec. We don't have a picture of it. It's basically Wrecker. He's like calling on Fennec Shand on his comlink, and he's like, he's gone through the floor to the lower level or something. I can't remember what he says. And then Fennec's like,
he's gone
down
underground.
Here. That was it. Yeah. So she's like, okay. So then
we see the creature go towards the boat, don't we?
Yeah, because the creature, the first thing it's thought of is, right, they've got here on a boat, I'm going to take their boat, go away, and then...
No, it goes through, because the creature has his own boat. The insect has his own boat.
Oh, okay.
And he goes to go on it, and that's when Fennec
that'd be it.
Cut it.
So, obviously, because of Wrecker's warning to Fennec,
Next one.
Okay, because of Wrecker's warning to Fennec Shand, she's cut the controls on his boat, so it won't like start up. And then basically they end up defeating it.
Took like 3 stuns from one from each of them. Like,
you can tell it's a struggle for all of them. But they end up defeating it, and then Wrecker sort of picks up his body, chucks him on his back like he did with like Gonki, and he's just walking along. And then they get back to the ship. Fennec's obviously very thankful for their help, and then Hunter's there like, right, where's the information? She's like, I didn't say I had it on me, but I will find out for you. And he's like, so what, we just leave, and we've done all this work. And she's just like,
You gotta
well,
trust
yeah,
me.
you'll have
Or
to
fight
trust
me."
me or fight me. So they trust her, and then we see a scene of her at the end where she's on the ship, and then she calls someone, and the voice is kind of muffled, so we don't know exactly who it is. However, we do have a very big theory of who it is because we saw them in the trailer. But we think this is Asajj Ventress
Yes.
because she was a bounty hunter at the end of the Clone Wars, and we saw her in the trailer, so we know she's coming in it. And yeah, basically, Fennec Shand says to her, "Oh, I've just done a mission with a few clones."
Asking about like the M count
Yeah,
targets or something.
yeah.
Thought you'd want to know or something.
And she's like, "That'll be easy enough to track down." So
I think it's Ventress.
I think she's set up the Bad Batch here.
Well, see, now that I think about it, probably not. So it makes it out like she has. But if she's contacting Ventress being, not exactly a bad person anymore, is probably doing these M count missions to save them. Because at the end of the day, Quinlan's part of the path.
Yeah.
Quinlan's part of the path of saving Jedi survivors and people with the Force.
Yep.
So I reckon she's actually taking these targets and like saving them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's Ventress. I think she's gonna try and help if she can. Maybe
Hopefully.
she's gonna try and convince the Bad Batch to let Omega go with them on the path. But
yeah.
Could be Ventress. It could be, a lot of people have said Cad Bane. Some people have said Hemlock.
No, I reckon
I think
Ventress.
Ventress.
Yeah, because I think that would be interesting to see. Fennec Shand be like working with Ventress.
Yeah,
that's an interesting route to go. And I don't think Fennec and Cad Bane necessarily get on.
Yeah, but you don't know. But
yeah,
will be interesting
work
to
is
see.
work. Yeah.
So yeah, that was it for the episode.
Yeah.
It was, again, it wasn't a great one, but it was alright. But again, it's still the story of Omega and like Crosshair and the Empire sort of thing. Even at the end here, it's like the reason they've done this mission is for information about these M count targets and stuff like this. So, not the worst, but
not the
best.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week's episode will be with Asajj, and hopefully Quinlan Voss is there. Shows
then you can tick it off your list.
Tick it off my bingo list.
Yeah. I really want to find out who this assassin is, like the assassin clone that we saw last week, because Hauser kind of stunned him in the water, and then at the end we see him get out of the water, and we still don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we might see that, maybe not next week if it's the Asajj episode, but I really want to know soon.
Yes, we do want to know.
Want to know who it is. But yeah, good episode, but not my fave.
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 out of 10. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Let's move on to Troopers
of the week. So mine is some Olivo art. They have done they do like helmet creations, and they've done the 501st helmets.
Yeah.
So there it is. There you have like Rex in the center. You have like
Fives, Jesse, Tup.
Yeah.
Reg. No, that's Appo. And then Dogma, Kix, hard case.
Yeah.
All the clones.
Yeah. So again, very cool. I like that one.
And they're 501st, so
5 but it's nice art, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
the only one that we were surprised that they didn't do was
yes.
Echo.
Yeah, there wasn't an Echo, but the like reg at the bottom with the like
The
visor.
Yeah.
It's like interesting.
I mean, they probably made an Echo one, but they were just not on that picture.
Yeah.
Who knows? But very cool and very talented.
Yeah.
Really like those.
So yeah, some Olovo art.
Your watch for the week. I thought I'd give this post a little show. I don't actually know this person. Someone called Cobalt Green 1138 on Instagram. They posted a picture of Captain Rex. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this properly, but this is Captain Rex. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better photo.
I think it's quite
Captain
hard
Rex from the Clone Wars and Captain Rex from the Bad Batch. Don't know if that see if that helps. And basically it shows the differences in the like wild marks. You guys can see this is not very good.
It's not very hard.
good.
Just explain it.
Yeah. So basically the weld marks along the side here look a lot more realistic in the Bad Batch compared to just like the blue and the orange from Clone Wars. And then this is it compared to the Bad Batch compared to the Ahsoka series, and it looks a lot more like that, like wild markings. But yeah, I thought that was a very cool thing.
Yeah.
And like you can just see by that photo alone, like how much the graphics have improved even since the Clone Wars.
Definitely check it out. What was it?
Cobalt Green 1138.
Yes, so go check it out
They're
and
Bad
have a look
Batch.
properly.
Clone Wars Rex.
Yeah.
Comparisons.
Very good.
Very cool.
Meme of the week.
We have a meme for you guys. When you're carrying your cereal to your room and you move too fast and milk goes everywhere. And
it's Count Dooku when he's just lost his hands, but it's that like,
whoa.
We've all done it.
Like a whoo face. Yeah.
Oh, I've dropped it.
Yeah. Or, carrying a drink that's a little bit overfilled, especially like cup of tea because it's really hot. And you're like, burn my finger. Very true.
Yeah, but I just thought it was quite realistic and quite relatable as well, this one.
And the funny face.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah. So
it's been a bit of a longer one, but we had a lot to get through.
We did. We had an Acolyte trailer.
The Bad Batch. And lots of news.
Oh, so much.
So much so it's got dark in the space in this episode.
I know, that's why I do apologise if you see that you can hardly see Rex and all the clone trooper back there, but they are there and they are with us.
Yeah. We still love the Rex helmet. It's very cool.
Yes. So next week we do have another Bad Batch episode of Breakdown.
We do.
We will also be talking about the museum visit and what we saw.
Yep.
Which will be quite fun because we do know that there is Star Wars stuff there.
There is.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yep.
Yes, and also on another note, it will be episode 100 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Now again, we still don't know exactly what we're going to do for the episode. We don't know if we're going to get some old friends on or guests. We're still sort of sorting that out, but 100 episodes of the 501st Commentator. Wow. It's pretty special.
You've sat here 100 times.
Yes.
I don't know how many I've done, but I'm glad to be here.
I have sat here many times.
It's very fun sitting here every week with you guys and just chatting about Star Wars. Not many people in our lives, are as big fans as us.
Yeah, and that's nothing against, everyone else in our lives and our friends that, aren't entirely interested in it. But it's like, we are. We know that you guys that listen are.
Yeah.
And the friends and connections we've made over the time are, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is mad, but, you know, I started this with Rory, 2 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Crazy.
it's mad, you
Yeah.
know, the fact that, like, I just wanted someone to talk to about Star Wars, and we've just each week has got bigger, better, and you know, me and you are about to hit 100 episodes on the 501st, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
just a little shout out to anyone who has listened to even one episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Thank you
for
for being here.
joining us on this incredible adventure.
Yeah.
And 100 next week.
Yay.
So we will see you next week on our 100th episode.
Yep.
So yeah, from me, guys, and from Chloe.
May the force be with
Yes,
you.
and we'll see you next week. Bye.